On today's episode, ESPN analyst projects a big trade involving King Henry. Is Alex Smith returning to Kansas City as a QB coach? And the Chiefs make a decision on former first-round pick Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We're going to talk about all that and more. Stick around.
What's happening, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. Mike, Derrick Henry could be on the move out of Tennessee, and an ESPN analyst thinks they know where he's going.
Right, so ESPN analyst reporter Jeff Darlington. Jeff Darlington, if you know him, he takes his job pretty seriously, so he just doesn't throw out things like willy-nilly. But he says Derrick Henry could be on the move to not the Chiefs, to Buffalo to play with Josh Allen, put him in the backfield with Josh Allen. And they said that could be a cheat code to prevent the Chiefs from continuing their dynasty they have building. Steve, what do you think about Buffalo pairing up with King Henry to take down Patrick Mahomes?
It doesn't scare me whatsoever. You can call it a cheat code all you want, but between the two of them, probably only get half a year with both of them healthy on the field. And then always when we play the Titans, we don't ever play that well against them because it's that slow, grindy game. But Derrick Henry never really kills us, man. I mean, he just don't. And Nick Bolton owns him, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, Nick Bolton always does a pretty good job of shutting down King Henry. King Henry does score a lot of touchdowns on us. The last time we played, he wasn't all that effective. But, I mean, it is a pretty good trade. If you put him in the backfield, you would probably have to put the Bills at the top of the AFC behind the Chiefs. Other than that, it's not a trade that I see probably happening. I feel like the Bills would have to give up way too much to get him, possibly a first-round pick. And even then, I don't believe the Titans are in a rebuild or anything, and I don't believe their coach and the way they play football is going to give up the biggest piece of their offense. So I feel like this is a pipe dream for Buffalo fans, and I don't think it's anything to think about.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if the Titans try to move on from Derrick Henry. It does sound crazy, but like I said, wouldn't be surprised. They do have some new upper management, GM, owner. I don't remember what it is. They do still have Mike Vrabel, though, but I think they're trying to go a different route here. I don't think they want to do the old slow ground and pound stuff that's not working for them for the last 10 years or whatever it's been. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get rid of him. But I'm with you. Buffalo, probably not the most likely target. They just seem like they already have enough players that they're going to have to pay. So I just don't see them sneaking Derrick Henry onto the roster as well.
Right. Derrick Henry's also 29. Not saying he's showing any signs of slowing down, but as you mentioned, injuries are starting to become a thing. Wear and tear is going to become a thing. I don't see how you'd give up a first-round pick and possibly more to be able to obtain him. I just think it's a no-go on both sides here. I think Derrick Henry will stay in Tennessee.
So if you've been on Chiefs social media lately, be it Facebook, Twitter, whatever it might be that you get your news on, you've noticed that people's been posting that Alex Smith is coming back as a quarterback coach. And what people are failing to see here is that it's not Adam Schefter. It's actually a parody account by Adam Schefter. And they're just completely overlooking it. And this goes right along with you guys that like to look at our video titles and instantly get in the comments and be like, this ain't going to happen or that ain't going to happen. It's like, cool, you agree with us. Just watch the video and you'll see. This is the same deal here. They're looking at this one little meme that's made, and that's what's happening. They don't want to do any research. Guys, we got to do better than this. We got to do better than this.
Yeah, I don't think Alex Smith is probably going to be a QB coach in Kansas City anytime soon. Would he do a good job? Yeah, probably. I think he would. I think he would be a nice addition to the staff. I don't know if that's anything he's even considering. I don't think that's anything we've ever talked to him about or the Chiefs have even considered to this point. So, yeah, we're kind of getting our hopes up. This goes along with all the ex-Chiefs that always leave Kansas City. Everybody wants them back, whether it's Kareem Hunt, whether it's Eric Fisher. Like, we have a problem in Chiefs Kingdom of letting things just go. Just let it go.
Yeah. And we shouldn't. We shouldn't, because when we let things go and move on to the new, we get Super Bowls. See how that works? But anyway, Alex Smith, I don't think that he even is looking into being a coach. I don't think he's doing any kind of coaching right now. I haven't heard him talk about doing any kind of coaching at all. But the Chiefs do have a couple of guys already on the staff that I think could probably be promoted to that quarterback coach. And first off, let's take a look at the wide receiver coach, Joe Blameyer. Normally, if you look at a quarterback coach on a team, they were previously the wide receiver coach, so there's a very good chance they could do that. Also, the pass game analyst and assistant QB coach, David Girardi, that's another one that could be promoted. Those are names that you need to look for as far as that QB coach, not Alex Smith.
So Dov Kleiman comes out and tweets today that the Chiefs are expected to decline the fifth-year option on running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. According to Nate Taylor, Edwards-Helaire was their first-round pick in the 2020 draft. This is not a shocker. We've said this before with the emergence of Pacheco, the way that we took Clyde a little too early, probably. He's never panned out. He's had a lot of injuries. Steve, we've said this time and time again. We didn't think he was going to be, picking up that option or anything. They'll probably maybe even look to trade him at some point if he has any trade value, possibly this year. What do you think about it, Steve?
I think they should definitely see what they can get for him and go ahead and trade him. We didn't think he was going to come back, so it makes total sense. The Chiefs are kind of just moving on from it. It was a failed experiment. Clyde, he's a good back, but he's not what we needed in the system. It just isn't. It did not work, so let's move on. That's what we need to do. And it looks like that we could be drafting a running back this year. A lot of people going and looking and being like, hey, let's go get Kareem Hunt back, or Derrick Henry's could be traded and like crazy things. But in all reality, we'll probably be looking at a late round draft pick more than likely. So just keep that in mind as we go forward.
Yeah, it hit with Pacheco. I think Pacheco's the clear cut number one. But again, when you've seen Clyde kind of going to a fashion show, turning down the parade, he's probably knows he's on the outs here in KC. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't trade him for something like a fifth round pick, if possible, maybe a sixth. I don't even know if he has that much value. But yeah, I don't know if Clyde is actually going to be somebody that contributes to the team this year. Maybe he will stick around and contribute. I don't think Andy is above using him if he wants to be a good team player and stay here, but I don't know how it's going to work out. I would probably think Clyde is out.
So NFL.com put out their NFL rookie class rankings for this past season, Mike, and it looks like the Chiefs might have been snubbed just a little bit. They came in at number 4, obviously with the Jets and the Lions topping the crew, and then the Seattle Seahawks coming in at number 3. What did you think about it?
So the Chiefs at number 4, McDuffie played in 11 games. He had 11 starts. Karlaftis, 17 games, 17 starts. Sky Moore, 16 games, 3 starts. You can go down the list. Josh Williams, 4 big starts. Leo Chenal, 8 starts. Jalen Watson, 6 big starts. Isaiah Pacheco, 11 starts. These guys, they helped us get a Super Bowl ring. It's as simple as that. They helped us get a Super Bowl ring. If you want to look up at the Jets, yes, the Jets did draft Sauce Gardner, who turned out to be a really good player, Garrett Wilson. But if you look at Jermaine Johnson, the defensive end out of Florida State, he played in 14 games. He never started. Brees Hall was cut short to an ACL injury. None of their guys down the list that they drafted in the 5th, 6th, 7th rounds actually panned out. The Lions, the same way. Aiden Hutchinson, pretty good. Jamison Williams never really got back to a starting spot. Kirby Joseph wasn't a bad pick. But if you look down the list, besides Malcolm Rodriguez, the linebacker, they didn't have a lot of late round contributors. The Seahawks maybe have a claim to this. Charles Cross, 17 games, 17 starts. Kenneth Walker, 15 games, 11 starts. Abraham Lucas, offensive tackle, 16 games, 16 starts. And then, of course, we all know about Tariq Woolen, 17 games, 17 starts. They had a pretty good draft. But the big overwhelming factor in this is their rookies did not help their team win a Super Bowl. And that Super Bowl ring speaks volumes. I think Brett Veach should have been given a lot more credit here. They should have been probably number 1 or number 2, possibly if you wanted to put them behind Seattle.
Right. It looks like that they just looked at the guys that had multiple first round picks and like, oh, they got a bunch of first rounders, so let's give them the highest one. Like, do your work, NFL.com. Don't be lazy. That's what it looks like happened here.
The Chiefs had multiple first round picks, still decided to snub us.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Do you guys agree with the NFL.com's rankings of the rookie classes? If so, get in the comments, let us know. Or if you don't, let us know about it as well. Let's go ahead and move on, though. Speaking of rookies, Combine's getting ready to start tomorrow, Mike. Excited to see these guys?
I am. The combine is going to be in Indianapolis starting tomorrow. It's going to run for about a week. We're going to get to see defensive ends, defensive tackles, wide receivers. Again, they kind of just run. They pick and choose. They run 40s. They do some drills. They lift some weights. I think there's going to be a few guys elevate their stock, and as always, there's going to be a few guys drop off. Steve, do you have any names of anybody that could elevate their stock this week?
Yeah, I mean, I think one obvious one that just pops off the page to me that's going to be a favorite in this year's draft is going to be Anthony Richardson, the quarterback from Florida. They like to say that he's not fully prepared to be an NFL quarterback and he's got a lot to learn. He makes bad decisions. But what does everyone look at with quarterbacks these days? They want the mobile quarterback. They want the guy with the crazy arm strength, the big stature. They've been in love with Josh Allen over and over again. This guy packs all of that and more. And I think when they see him moving around at this combine and the fact that he can throw the ball 70 yards, I think they're going to fall in love with him and he's going to be the media darling for this draft.
Yeah, I think there's a running back out of Tulane named Tyjae Spears. He come on at the Senior Bowl. He looked really good. Depending on how he runs and how he does drills, he could go flying up the draft board. This dude at Tulane last year was a complete monster. He ran for 1,581 yards, had 19 touchdowns. He added 22 receptions for 256 and 2 touchdowns. So Tyjae Spears is another guy that if he runs in the 4.4s or better, you may see him flying up. He could get as high up as the second round. That's actually an Andy Reid style running back. I don't know if second round is where they are planning on drafting a running back to just back up Isaiah Pacheco, but if McKinnon, they can't get something worked out, or they think a long term he's not going to be here, that is a guy that could step into the McKinnon role very solidly. That could be a nice 1-2 punch.
So we'll definitely keep you updated on the combine and what goes on there. We're also doing a short series about the top 150 draft prospects for this year's draft. The algorithm doesn't love it too much, but we thought you guys would, so you might have to do a little digging. But get over there and check out our shorts. Look at those players, learn those players, and see which ones you think the Chiefs could snatch up. Also, Matt Nagy took over as the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs now that Eric Bieniemy is gone. Fully expected, but how will that change the offense? Get over and watch this video by Locked On Chiefs, and they tell you a little bit about that. Also, get in our comments, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell, and we'll be back on Wednesday with more on your Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs.